Hey gang, I'm Kelly Attaway and this is Never Show the Monster. I'm just popping in real quick because we are about to spoil every Scream movie we haven't already spoiled. So enter at your own risk. Okay, love you, bye. Hi, welcome to Never Show the Monster. I'm Kelly Attaway.
I'm Chelsea Hollander.
And today we are not jumping into our new theme. We loved the Scream movies so much that we wanted to take some time and talk about 3, 4, and I guess it's not 5, it's just Scream. 3, 4, and Scream the second. Scream the, how do you denote that? Scream again?
Fast, Scream Furious.
Yeah, Scream 2, Scream 2, Scream.
So is Scream 5, does it have a 5 as the...
Is it as
Scream?
like the A?
As the
No,
S.
that would be a 4.
As the A. As the S.
I'm stupid.
The 5 is the...
We've covered this. I'm dumb. Yeah, it must be the S. I guess it's the S.
It does not. They didn't do that. Maybe that was like, if we were those people, we would do that. Did they make a joke about doing that? I think they made a joke about doing that.
They definitely have a joke in the movie that's like, oh, so creative to call your reboot Scream just like the same, just like the original.
But they didn't talk about having a 5 in it because I feel like it should have a 5. Oh, 25 years after the first one. Wait.
That's a little bit.
97.
That's a little bit of time.
Wait, what? This came out in 22. So did it happen in 96?
It did.
The movie
yeah,
came out in
Scream 1 was 96. Scream 2 is 97. Yeah.
So this one came out in 20, but this came out this year. But maybe it was set in the year prior. Sorry, I am getting really hung up on this. When we get to Scream 5cream, when we get to 5cream,
Scream 2 Hypercube.
That's when we will talk about that some more.
I do have some stuff I want to chat about before we get into the movie. Is that okay?
Yes, please.
Okay, so when we did Spawn, we were talking about John Wayne Gacy and when clowns became scary. Mm-hmm. And you were like, when was he killing? In the 70s? And me and Ryan were like, no, the 80s. You were super right. It was the 70s.
It's fine. I was wrong about who Liev Schreiber played in the Wolverine movies.
Oh.
He played Sabretooth. He did not play Gambit. I'm sorry, everyone who probably got... I don't know if anybody got angry or even noticed that I fucked that up so bad, but I did, and I have not slept since then.
Oh, no.
So here I am recanting it. And the last time we recorded, I was like, I have to make sure to say something, and I fucking didn't. So here you go. Here it is. Here
we
you are.
We did that.
I need to admit my mistakes when they're there, and this is me openly admitting that sometimes I fuck up the characters in X-Men movies.
And I'm
sorry.
I'm bad at dates in history. I've admitted that before. I know that about myself. That's just a shortcoming. But so the reason I know this is because the last couple nights my brain is dead, and so I can't consume new media.
Oh,
so
yeah.
What I have been doing is watching the miniseries on Netflix about John Wayne Gacy. It's called like Conversations with a Killer or something. I don't know. It's not very good.
Is he in it? Is it like actually talking with him?
Yes and no. It's like he's been dead for a little while. So
that's a good point. That's a good point.
So like he wasn't involved in this specific production. However, it is like investigators recorded conversations with him and psychiatrists who were evaluating, because he tried to plead insanity.
Was he wasn't on Mindhunter, was he?
No.
Is it whenever that comes back for another season eventually in the future, he will be on that season, maybe?
I would love that.
Could he be on that season?
Is that coming back?
There was like a couple months ago, there was an article that came out that said, I think David Fincher was like, maybe in the future. And I was like,
That's
can that maybe be a yes? Can that be a yes? Please?
Yeah.
Please and thank you.
I did really love that show.
So good.
Oh, maybe I'll put that on. Just like, why is true crime my comfort?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, I feel sad. I should watch something about a murderer.
I was trying to
he killed 35 young boys? So cozy.
Well, maybe it's like a coping mechanism to be like, at least it's not at least I'm not getting murdered. I don't know.
I think that
No, I don't want to go down this hole. I was looking at
I think I can explain it without having to delve deep.
Okay.
I think I just we caught the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
Though now I'm gonna get a little something. I found myself watching this documentary. They did interview a bunch of the cops who caught him.
Oh.
I hesitated on that because I don't think that they were doing good police work. And one of the cops fully was like, yeah, it was a bullshit arrest, but we got him. And I was like, you can't.
What?
No. Like, I understand that he killed a bunch of people, and I hate that. And I'm glad that he was caught or at least stopped.
For sure.
But like, you can't go fabricating arrests because you feel sure in your heart that they should be captured.
Is it that you like true crime, or you hate police so much that you hate watch when they do terrible jobs?
I most of the things that I
then just
consume
watch Cops, man.
are not hate watching. Most, like, if I had known that that's how this was going to go, I don't think I would have put it on. Like, I genuinely was like, I would love like a super cop on this. Like, are we going to see some like interesting investigative techniques, or somebody who's like grizzled? He's like, we gotta catch him. Like,
man,
you know,
yeah, it's so bad because every time you watch them, like, I don't know, like with BTK, he gave himself away from like a fucking floppy disk.
Floppy disk, yeah.
And then like with, I mean, the whole thought of like, what is it? All Be Gone in the Dark, Golden State Killer?
Oh, the Golden State Killer. Uh-huh.
Yeah, him, Jed Match being what ended up bringing that up. Like, the person
Wait, what was that word you just said?
Jed Match? Is it Ged Match?
I don't know what you're describing. What is that?
It was from DNA that they figured it out. So it was like whenever somebody does 23andMe or Ancestry.com.
Yeah, I knew it was DNA. I just haven't heard that
so
term.
you can submit your DNA that you've received from a different company into GEDmatch, and then it can figure out. I mean, it's not specifically to figure out if you have a murderer associated with you, but maybe. But maybe. In this instance, it was super helpful but I think it was like a database to put together all different types, like, because you can go through so many different companies. It was a way to put them all together. So if you wanted somebody who had done something with a different company, you would be able to get that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but super cool. I think it goes through I think it's in the book All Be Gone in the Dark where they talk about that. I know that they ended up making the documentary.
Yeah, it was they don't go into, yes, it was McNamara, Michelle McNamara. I did read this. Maybe they named it because like she wrote the majority of it, and then a couple of her like online sleuth buddies came in and wrapped up the last chapter, and they like used her notes and her evidence, which was very cool. But the way I remember the book ending was they were like, she really wants to pursue this DNA thing, but she's a civilian and can't get access to it.
Oh, so maybe I just continued to research, because it did end up with her, because the book was released prior to him being caught.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then there was like a follow-up.
That HBO.
It's not epilogue.
Miniseries.
Yeah, I was like, there's follow-up items that came out with it, but like, I remember it being. Did I just do my own research outside of that?
I mean, I could be totally misremembering the end of this book.
Or it could have been like, hey, this thing exists. I did, whenever I was at my, I remember specifically whenever they caught him, going in and like the press conference that happened right after it. It was while I was at work, but it was during lunch, and I remember booking a room I was a consultant at the time, so I booked a room at the company that I was at, and I displayed it on the screen. I ate lunch with one of my friends. I was like, would you like to watch this with me?
Yes, absolutely.
So then that's what we did, is just we watched that. So maybe that's where it went through it, where it talked about how integral that was in finding him. But it found like somebody who was like his cousin, and it was between him and his brother. But the brother didn't fit the timeline, and he had like obvious alibis as to where he could have been. Mm-hmm. And then it was like, oh, definitely this guy. For sure, this guy. He lived in all of these places. It makes so much sense. I didn't mean to go on a true crime spiral here.
No, I mean, let's follow our hearts. We love true crime.
No.
At least I do.
No, I just knew of Jed Match because I like DNA. I'm a big fan of DNA.
She definitely did want to pursue that.
Mm-hmm.
There's even, was it in that HBO doc? Why were they filming?
I didn't watch the HBO doc. I think I watched the first episode, but I couldn't get into it. I love the book, though.
I watched it, and there was like footage of her.
Mm-hmm.
Or do I just have a really vivid imagination?
Maybe.
There's
probably footage of her because it was all based on her book. So it would make sense.
But why were they...
She may have like videoed interviews that she did with people just in case it became something. Or like...
But it was like clearly a production crew. Like she wasn't like selfieing it. Like somebody, like a third party was filming her. Whatever.
Maybe
good for her.
There was something more nefarious that people... Oh. I'm assuming she like went to meet with people on a park bench. And then it was just very clear and beautiful. Great shot, great lighting, mid-afternoon.
Here's what I really remember is I don't even remember the true crime parts of it. I remember her being at home with Patton Oswalt, her husband, and their kid, Alice. And I feel like in the documentary or whatever it is that I watched, she like shuffles Alice off to bed and then comes in to do the interview. And it was just like a happy, bubbly woman talking about this horrible rapist and murderer after she put her kid to bed. Like, that's what I remember. I don't even really remember the investigation parts of it. I remember her, like, gliding around her living room. Yeah. It's a good book. I'll Be Gone in the Dark.
Yeah.
She's a great writer. I never did read her blog. I didn't know about it until the book.
Same.
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess we're talking about a movie that has a serial killers.
Yes. There is one other thing that I want to say before we get into it.
Yeah.
So it's not about this. It's a totally separate subject. Recently, I was not doing so well mental health wise, and I was like, I just want to watch. Oh no, now I can't remember what it's called. Bugle Fingers. Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
The Unholy?
The Unholy. I was like, I just want to watch The Unholy. I think I like that movie. I think I like it.
That's weird. If you guys remember our review of it, it was not good. And Kelly and I have seen it twice. I think we watched it 2 times.
I have maybe watched it 3 times.
Oh my god. Okay, well, this is going to become us like rewatching every movie we've seen. So in 3 weeks, you guys will hear a really positive review of Spawn. I mean, I don't know. Just sometimes things just hit right, man.
Yeah, I mean,
I just watched a show where there were bugle fingers and they had made a reference to Val Kilmer in the episode before. But like the show, I was like, this show shouldn't be good, but for some reason I'm enjoying the shit out of it. And
what is it?
Well, it's a show on Hulu called Maggie, and it's about a girl who's like a psychic, but she's just trying to like figure out her love life.
Okay.
But like the dad is I can't remember his name. Roland Schitz from Schitt's Creek.
Oh, which isn't he? Tiny Hands
Tiny Hands from the not Scream scary movie.
Yes, from the Scream parody.
Yeah, that's what you were saying. Yeah, he is. So I guess this all ties together. But he made a comment. He was like, I have a cast of Val Kilmers, but I can't tell you that because of HIPAA. I was like, oh my god. I was like, this is a joke that just really hits my heart right now. But I'm trying to find, well, like you were talking about comfort shows, and I was trying to figure out, like, my comfort shows are shows like Schitt's Creek and Parks and Rec, and I watch The Good Place as well. But it's always like a huge ensemble cast that's like light and funny and not too serious. Like it can have episodes that are serious and have a lot of intention, but not all of them. I don't know. Because, like, to say Schitt's Creek doesn't have, like, super good episodes that, like, make you feel something.
It is light. Like,
yeah, but it's definitely a lighter one. But I was trying to think of, like, what show is out now that has that. I don't know. I've been watching The Bear, too, and that one's also That one's not light. That one's pretty. A lot of people yelling at each other. And I've never worked in a restaurant, so it was cool to watch that.
Yeah. I haven't watched that one yet, but I know.
What are your comfort shows? Everyone write in your comfort shows, please, because I need more comfort shows.
noshowmonster@gmail.com or noshowmonster on Twitter. Yeah. Tell us your comfort shows and why. I'm so interested in why, like what makes them your comfort show. Because listening to you describe like doing, it sounds like your comfort shows are 30-minute comedies.
Accurate. That is very accurate.
That's a big no from me.
Oh, like, really?
Like I barely want to watch a 30-minute comedy at any time. So like I did love Schitt's Creek.
Mm-hmm.
I did not finish Parks and Rec because I didn't care. Like I liked it. I liked those characters.
Yeah.
But like Criminal Minds is my comfort show. You know, like Supernatural is my comfort show.
But that once again I feel like is not like a cast of a bunch of people that you feel connected to. Because even in Supernatural, I know you have the two brothers, but there's still, you have Castiel. You have a handful of other people that end up. Bobby. Oh,
Bobby.
Do you watch The Boys?
No, because you know this about me. I don't like the superhero stuff, but I know that it sounds great, and I know Jensen Ackles is there now.
It's the creator. Is it? Yeah, because fucking Bobby plays fucking Bobby.
Bobby!
He's Bobby Singer. He's Bobby Singer in The Boys. His name is also Bobby Singer, and I was like,
my God.
Like right when they were like Bobby Singer, and I was like, what? What are you doing? Why are you the same? He's not the same because he's obviously like his character is not the same person. But I was like, what the fuck are you doing here, Bobby?
He is one of those characters. His voice is so distinctive. I cannot tell you how many times I've been watching something and he shows up, and I am typically knitting when I'm watching.
Okay, I was like, are you looking away? I just pictured you taking a sip of tea
away.
or something and being like,
yeah, or sipping tea. Yeah, I spend a lot of time sipping and knitting, and so many times I have heard his voice and been like, Bobby, and like whipped my head around, and I have to like, I'm not patient enough to just watch and see if he shows up. I have to rewind and like, was it Bobby?
Yes.
It was. This happened most recently. I was watching
Criminal Minds, and he was on.
I was watching Crimson
X-Files?
Peak.
Oh, okay, Crimson Peak.
Yeah, he shows up. He's little Blondo's dad in Crimson Peak, and he has an accent, I think.
Oh,
but that voice, you can hear it.
Yeah,
he's like H. John Benjamin.
Oh, yeah,
and you're like, I know who that one was.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I need long episodes for when I need comfort.
Well, The Boys is long episodes. It's not the same as a superhero show. Like I know. It is a hate for superheroes. It's not a positive.
Okay.
Just watch a couple episodes. I don't know. It gets kind of gross. Some people don't like it.
What do you mean gross?
It gets like, I mean, if you think of like the grossest thing you could think of, it's probably, I mean, it's not. Never mind. It's not Human Centipede.
2 Girls, 1 Cup.
Oh my God. When I was camping this weekend, they talked about 2 Girls, 1 Cup for too long.
How much what were they talking about? Like, were we trying to get to the bottom of?
I don't know how it segued. I don't know.
Of what the substance was?
They did describe it for a very long time. And I remember trying to, the beginning of the conversation started off with, have you had any paranormal experiences happen to you? Great conversation.
And you landed on 2 Girls, 1 Cup.
I have no idea how it got there. My part hadn't come around yet. I tried to go back to that at some point, and I was like, what? What is happening? Why are we? Oh my God.
Have you seen it?
I don't want to say this on a podcast.
Okay, one word, yes or no, I'll bleep it. I have bleep capabilities.
Okay. Have you? Well, you have to bleep out your side because it'll be obvious what mine is.
Let me say it again in a different intonation. I have not seen it.
Okay.
Let me just pull it up. Let me pull it up right now. Let me get my live reaction.
Please, dear God, don't.
You won't be able to hear it. I've got headphones in.
I mean, I know, but you don't need to watch it. Nobody needs to watch it. There's no reason to watch it. We did this in college.
Did you see Mr. Hands?
That is why we got onto the 2 Girls, 1 Cup. That is why.
Okay. We're going to reverse engineer. So we went paranormal.
But then
Step 2.
It turns out that Mr. Hands is from the area that we were in.
Okay.
So then we were talking about that. No, it turns out Mr. Hands is from the area, I think, in which somebody had a paranormal experience. This is sounding really weird now. I think they were saying that they went to a hotel or something that was near where Mr. Hands did his thing. Hands. Mr. Hands. And then I was like, okay. I mean, isn't that just a general thing? Is there a specific one I need to be looking at?
There was no, you don't need to be looking at it.
Why are we doing this? Why are you doing this?
I'm sorry. You know what? I just have one more.
I'm not.
I just have one more. I just have one more that I have to get out of my system. I just have to get it out of my system. As of a couple months ago, lemonparty.org was still active.
I did not watch that one.
Well, you don't have to watch it. It's just an image.
Did I see that?
There is music, I think.
I don't know. I think I'm not going to feel bad about this anymore. I felt weird during the conversation when we were camping, but there was a time when everybody watched some weird shit on the internet. Yeah. And I don't want to think back to that because I think we're all collectively trying to block it out. So I'm sorry for anyone in which we have triggered because I feel a little bit triggered.
I'm sorry. I feel like...
Yeah, why would you do this to me?
Well, because, I don't know, maybe I'm just on a weird part of the internet. I feel like people aren't, like, trying to block it out. I feel like it's, like, funny nostalgia.
Is everyone trying to resurface it?
Not necessarily resurface,
but this is the second conversation within a week in which I've had to talk about these items, and I'm like, I say items like they're things on a to-do list or things that we have coming up in our sprint.
Look at this itinerary.
Yeah, no.
10 o'clock. 2 Girls, 1 Cup. 10:05. The next one.
I've had to focus too much on these things that I've seen way back when, and I don't know. You and I both, we talked about this during our last Shooting This Shit episode.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is that we went through a spiral where we were like, let's try to find the most fucked up movies we can. We did not watch a Serbian film, and I do not want to watch it. No, thank you. Yeah. But I have seen a lot of internet videos in which I do not want to have in my brain anymore. And the ones we have mentioned are some of them.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. We did all go through the same. I guess it's collective trauma. I don't know.
I don't even really consider it trauma. Like, I don't know. There's a lot in my memory that is trauma. This is all fine. This is fine.
It makes me...
I don't like it.
Yeah, I was like, It's not. Is this
good.
Your comfort shows?
Absolutely not. Yeah. Yeah, I love to...
When you're trying to go to sleep, you put it
at work,
on
I come home, I have some chocolate soft serve and put on 2 Girls, 1 Cup on the projector. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh no, for the home listener, I think I drowned Chelsea.
That would have been a spit take. But I didn't, I have so many electronics.
Oh, I apologize.
I tried to swallow at the same time. Oh, no. Please edit that part out.
No, I'm going to loop that.
Oh, Jesus. This is going to be a fun one. So thank you guys for joining us so far. Sorry we don't talk about the screams yet, but hope you enjoy us talking about stuff that you guys probably remember that you wanted to forget. But I guess, according to Kelly, it's like we are all sharing in this moment in which we all watch this fucked up shit together.
I feel like, you know what's crazy is I think about these things as like a more innocent time on the internet, you know?
You think that's more innocent?
Yeah, because those are like fun pranks. You're like, hey, I found an interesting video for you. You should check it out. Click this link. And like, maybe it's a Rickroll.
I want it to be a Rickroll every time.
But like today you get on Twitter and everything is like 30 children were murdered on a playground yesterday.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Are you talking about that or are you just talking about the news? The news is pretty fucked up.
Tomato. Yeah. It's all the same anymore.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Let's just start over. Welcome to Never Show the Monster. Should we talk about Scream?
Yeah, we probably should.
Okay.
If that's what people are here for, let's give the people what they want. But we also haven't got to talk about it. And every time we kind of want to.
I know.
Because Kelly had texted me and she was like, Scream 5 is so good. Or
it's so good.
5cream. And I was like, oh, fuck. And then I finally, like, I have to tell you how I watched these movies. So I watched them like they were my, okay, so we talked about comfort shows. What, do you have a show that's like your, in transit show? I don't know what to call it. Like the show or the thing that you watch while you're still continuing to do stuff or like exist.
Oh, no, but not shows, but podcasts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm always either listening to Last Podcast on the Left or Stop Podcasting Yourself. I'm always listening to one or the two.
So I watched it. It was my in transit. So it's when I like brush my teeth, when I would watch it like a TV show where I would like watch it in snippets. Scream 5, I did sit down and watch the entire thing because you said it was. The other ones I would watch, like I watched at least an hour of them in one sitting, but then I would watch snippets like at the beginning or end.
3 is the weakest one by far.
For sure. I love the cast in all of them. Parker Posey in 3. Let's start off with 3. Parker Posey was in 3. That's basically all you need to know. I think that's the only part of the movie that's important. Who? Oh.
Well, the funny thing about that one is, so
I was about to be like, who was the killer? Because I did not give a shit so hard.
Oh, it was like her brother from another mother?
Yes.
Or from same mother?
Same mother, another father. Brother from another father.
Yeah, so in 3, we're in Hollywood.
Super spoilers.
We are in Hollywood in 3, and we're making a Scream movie. I'm sorry, a stab movie. Yeah, a stab movie. And so Parker Posey is Gail Weathers in Stab. And
that was the best part.
Somebody hunky was playing Dewey.
Was playing Dewey? Was it Eric Olsen? No, am I making that up?
I think you might be right.
The guy from Fired Up?
Yes.
Oh my god, okay, I think I'm right. Because fucking best movie ever.
So good! Fucking loved Fired Up. Yeah. I remember you made us watch that.
It's so fucking good. And
Kate and I were so derisive. Yeah, hey Kate. Chelsea had us watch this movie, and me and Kate were like, good. Oh my god, a cheerleading movie, Chelsea.
It seemed so fucking bad.
For real?
I have no idea why I watched it. I have no idea why I was like, this is a good idea. But it is so fucking good. It's so good.
I still use that part where he's like, you can't be wearing Crocs. You're neither a baby or an old person at the beach.
Oh, something like that, yeah.
I use that GIF at work all the time. Like, if somebody's being a dumbass, I'm like, you're getting the Crocs GIF.
Oh my god, I didn't even think about using that. I'm so excited to now have that in my arsenal. It has Patrick Dempsey as well. McDreamy from Grey's Anatomy.
Oh, that's right. And he's like, the one that like, it seems like he's going to be the murderer.
I totally thought it was going to be him the entire time. They did a good job of
the misdirection. Yeah. So he's a detective, and it seems like he's sort of obsessed with Sydney. And at this point, Sydney is like a recluse. She has like a house up in the woods on a mountain, and she doesn't leave for anything. And her job is like a crisis hotline answerer.
Yeah.
That's not the position for sure.
Operator.
There we go.
Because that's what I was a 911 operator, crisis hotline operator.
Yeah, operator. Yeah.
Hi, operator. Please put me through to something
Sydney
else.
Prescott. I'm gonna get you like a fish.
Wow, that was pretty good.
Yeah, but that's what happens. They get her phone number
and then call her. I know that there's like a lot of plot to this movie. We're obviously not gonna. Cotton Weary's in it. He gets murdered really in the beginning of the movie.
Oh, that's right. I totally forgot about that. Yeah. Oh, that was crazy. So the big technology upgrade in this movie is that the killer can now mimic people's voices. So he's not just distorting his own voice on the phone anymore. He's like copying people's voices.
Yes.
So yeah, Cotton Weary gets murdered early on, but the murderer was like harassing his wife pretending to be Cotton.
Yes.
So like, and that was really funny because she has like one line that establishes that like Cotton has a history of wanting to pretend to be the murderer in their sex life. Like he wants to role play as Ghostface. So she has a funny line that's like, I'm sick of your gay, like whatever. Because Ghostface is there, like legitimate Ghostface is there using Cotton's voice. So then there's like it's like a Shakespeare comedy of errors. Like, yeah, Scream 3, I said it. Scream 3 is like Shakespeare. So Cotton like comes home but she thinks that he's been attacking and like she's barricaded herself in the bedroom, and he gets in and she like attacks him with what was it, like a fire poker?
I don't remember.
Or something. I don't know, but it was funny. Not a good movie though.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest.
So
Not great.
we have a correction already.
We
it
have
wasn't Eric
already.
Olsen, but it was a reason for us to bring up Fired Up. For you guys who haven't seen it, go ahead and watch it. However, the guy who played him was Matt Kiesler, who is in Rose Red. He was the Ellen Rimbauer family member.
Okay. Yeah,
Same
no,
guy.
I like totally retconned this movie as Fired Up, Little Mister.
Yeah,
Fire Up.
it's because he gave those vibes. He
He's got those
definitely gave
vibes,
those
yeah.
vibes. Like he was like chill but funny, and that's what Eric Olsen gave him Fired Up.
Like I remember him wearing like a puka shell necklace.
Yeah,
and like doing the hang loose sign.
for sure.
Yeah.
That's what he was all about. Because I remember in my brain that's who I replaced him with.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
I remember it being like, oh, this is someone I know that I care about in another role.
Huh.
And that's how my brain held on to it. And so I assumed Eric Olsen from Fired Up.
He's done so many things. He's way more famous than that now. He's in like one of the
CSI or something. He's in
crime.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. You guys follow his career. Instead of just watch a movie, just follow his entire career, follow him around, give him love. Yay. The other person that we're talking about. Okay, so the murderer. Sorry, I'm just gonna jump into it. Is Roman Bridger?
Yeah, he was someone.
Scott Foley, who I know from Scandal.
Huh. Okay, I watched at least one season of Scandal.
Yeah. What season was it?
It would have been the first. I didn't.
He wasn't in the first one.
Like, you know what? Season 3 is.
He
really
was in a later season, but he was a very memorable character.
Okay, I must not have gotten that far.
Yeah. So he's wonderful. I think he did a bunch of shit in the 90s, stuff in the 90s.
You can swear. I've marked this podcast as explicit.
He was in Felicity.
Okay.
Yeah, I was excited to see him in this movie. I was excited for the cast. This movie did fall pretty flat.
Yeah.
So in summation, Scream 3, our least favorite Scream. Is it better than Scream 2?
Absolutely not, no.
Because it doesn't have Timothy Olyphant or Jerry O'Connell. Okay. Because it doesn't have that beautiful scene on the stage with the singing Scream faces.
I was thinking of the stage, yeah.
Okay, I'm glad that... Okay, that's true. But Scream 3 has Parker Posey. All right, let's rate them... Okay, as we go through this, let's make this a game. Let's rate them in order. Okay, Scream...
I know my list.
Oh, really?
I know it. I know my list.
Okay, Scream. I have not made any list, so that we're doing my evaluation live. Evaluation live.
I just did mine live.
Fuck.
Like I just did it.
How did you do it so quickly? Okay, Scream, not 5cream, is number 1.
yeah. Scream original is number 1 for me. 5cream
number 2.
Yes, agreed.
I might say Scream.
Maybe I was less. Maybe I'm less confident.
Yeah, I'm going
than I
back. Like I can't tell. I think Scream 3 would be in the last place.
Agreed.
But I'm Scream 4 and Scream 2. Those are a toss up for me. because I did like Scream 4, but I didn't. There were parts that I was like, meh. And we can talk about those parts, which upset me. But
yeah, let's finish talking about the movies and then see if we can rank
and
these
then we'll
two.
and then we'll rank them.
I do have a thought. It is sort of a bummer. We were being light about movie 3, and we're going to move on to 4. But a big plot point in the third Scream is Maureen. Was that her name? Sydney's mom went to Hollywood when she was like a young 20-something and got like coerced into sex in Hollywood.
I know what you're going to say. Yep.
And then the movie, and it's like, that's a plot point.
Yes.
That is a plot point of the movie. And it was produced by Harvey Weinstein.
Pretty gross.
And it's not treated like super
delicately
well in the movie. Yeah, delicately.
Not.
That's a great word. Yeah. And like, man, can you imagine? Like, I'm just imagining him doing that as like a bit. Like, was that a Harvey Weinstein joke?
Probably was.
That's gross. I don't like that. That's why this is the worst movie of the franchise.
Yeah. Yeah. But, I mean, props to the actors. I think that they all did it. Parker Posey was amazing.
Parker was great.
I loved her so much in this movie. She did die. As expected in these movies.
Yeah.
I was really bummed when that happened because I found her character incredibly unlikable at the beginning, but at the end I was like, God, I fucking love her.
No, I never did like her.
I did. It's really easy for me to come around. Like,
I was so happy to see Parker Posey, though.
Yeah, I love Parker Posey.
Yeah, very pleased to see her. There was
Who was an
there was a funny
character?
joke. No, I can't do it. I can't make these connections because I don't remember names or details or which movie this happened in. So,
which movie? I got you. We didn't do this.
I can't. No, I mean, it was one of the Screams. So in the first movie, somebody has like a throwaway line about
who would play
Sydney, who would play them. And then the woman that they reference as playing Sydney is in 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
Playing Sydney in Stab. I guess 2. She must have been in 2 playing Sydney in Stab. And then she doesn't come back for Scream 3. And there's like an additional line in Scream 3 about how like the Stab franchise wasn't doing well. And so she didn't return.
Oh. So was that a joke about Sydney not returning or Neve Campbell not returning because she has gone
No, because this was 1,000 years before she left the franchise. No, I think that the point in the third one was that like we could no longer afford her.
Oh yeah, so then they ended up doing like a talent search and got Emily Mortimer.
That's a great name.
Yeah, she's great and she's in a lot of movies that I've liked or okay.
Oh, that was also a surreal part of this movie. Like they built Sydney's neighborhood on a soundstage in Hollywood. So she's like being chased by Ghostface through her house. Yeah, it was crazy. So like they do a bunch of callbacks to the first movie. She like opens her closet door against her bedroom door the same way she did right after Billy snuck into her room in the original movie. A lot of callbacks in that one. And how did they bring Randy into it? Because Randy died in Scream 2.
Did they bring Randy into Scream 3? They brought him in. They brought him into 4. Wait, no, 5. They brought him into 5.
They brought him into 5. I think in Scream 3, they had like a VHS tape of him. And he was like, if you have this tape, that means I'm dead. And so he had additional rules for the third in a trilogy. Yes, that's exactly what happened.
I do remember that.
That's exactly what happened. He was like, all bets are off. Anybody can die, even the main character. Sydney.
I don't. So I am looking at the IMDb for Scream 2. Luke Wilson was Billy.
Yeah.
And then Heather Graham was Casey, but I can't see who played Sydney. And that makes me upset because it was a named actor.
Tori Spelling.
That's it. And then they made the joke that that's who she was like, Tori Spelling would probably end up playing me as like a negative.
Yeah, it was definitely derisive when they first made the joke, and then like, haha, funny. We got her in Scream 2. Love
Honestly,
that.
yeah, I was gonna say, fuck yeah, Tori Spelling
Yeah,
for being in on
very
the joke, being
funny.
like, yeah, that's fucking fine. I'm
Yeah.
okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, that whole movie was tongue in cheek,
We didn't
like,
talk about the best part of the movie, and it was that Jay and Silent Bob were in it.
oh, for like 2 seconds.
But the best 2 seconds ever.
What did they say? They said like Jay said something. Silent Bob clearly didn't.
Yeah. Silent Bob was silent. And I was like, so Jason Mewes and Kevin Smith. But he said something about like one of the.
He was like, I just met so and so, but he hadn't. It was somebody else.
Yeah. I loved that. That was my favorite scene.
Yeah.
You know what?
Fun.
This is number one. This has become number one.
No. Chelsea is like 4 Vizzies deep.
I know. I'm so forgone right now. I am. Yeah. But no, I have a deep love for Jay and Silent Bob. I have a deep love for Kevin Smith, to be completely honest. Didn't we talk for like at length about his Superman and Nicolas Cage?
Oh, yes, we did. Yeah.
Love him. Love comic book men. Like comic book men. I've watched most episodes, so like it and love him, and I think he's a great guy that puts out good stuff and wants only what's best for film and film.
Right in if he's problematic at No Show Monster on Twitter. No Show Monster.
Upsetting.
Yeah, just do it on Twitter.
He did work
do not email noshowmonster@gmail.com. Chelsea does the email. We don't want her to see this. Tweet me at No Show Monster.
Fuck, we got so far off of Scream. Let's loop back around. Scream 4, let's go.
This is the one that had the like funny Inception style intros.
It had Inception style intros?
Right? Or was that 3?
Dude, I do not remember. What do you mean Inception style intros? What do you mean?
One of them starts with a couple of teens at home, and they're talking about this like horror movies and how derivative they are. That's 4. Yeah.
Is it 3? You're talking about the one with like Kristen Bell and Anna Paquin.
Yes.
That's fucking 3.
That's 3? 3? Shit. What happens in 4?
Is it 4? It's 4. I can't tell. Give me the cast.
That's the one with Emma Roberts.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm looking through it. Rory Culkin, John Neff Campbell. Kristen Bell was in it. Okay. Kristen Bell and Anna Paquin. Yes. So it was.
Yes. Okay. So 4 starts with like, it's just scene after scene after scene of a couple people talking about how derivative horror movies are, and they're so predictable, et cetera, et cetera. And then they get murdered. And then it like cuts to like, yeah. And then it cuts to like stab 69. Like, like they just made a million of these movies.
Fast, stab furious.
Right. Yeah. Stab Tokyo Drift. And it just goes on and on. It happens like 5 or 6 times, just a bunch of false starts. And you get really excited for some of them. Like you said, it's Kristen Bell and Anna Paquin. And you're like,
one of them murders the other.
Wow. Yeah. An amazing cast. But no, they're just there for like 2 seconds as like a trailer for a Stab movie. And it's very funny. Stab 4 is definitely better than Stab 3.
Yeah, for sure. And a great cast. I mean, I'm going to love anything that a Culkin is in. I don't mean to, but I will.
No, I feel the same way. And this Culkin is in a horror movie. Not this one. He's in a different horror movie.
What horror movie?
I can't remember. It's called like Jack Comes Home or something.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Let me look it up.
It's not the house that Jack built.
Oh, okay. That's the one that my brain was equating it to. Signs.
He's in Signs too?
He's the baby. He's the little baby.
Oh my God.
He was in Mean Creek. Wasn't Mean Creek shot in Arkansas?
I don't know what this movie is.
You guys were learning stuff every day. And by every day, I mean 2 days. Okay, let me filter by horror. Show by genre.
I absolutely forgot that until you said it, I forgot that a Culkin was in this movie.
That was my main draw to it. Castle Rock, Scream 4, Lords of Chaos. He was in a lot of horror movies. Is that going to be our next series? The Last Thing Mary Saw, 50 States of Fright, Intruders, The Expecting, The Twilight
Damn.
Zone, The
Jesus.
Night Listener, The Zodiac, Jack Goes Home.
Jack Goes Home. I
You
crushed that.
Yeah, you did. You did.
Oh my God. Okay, we have homework. We have homework.
This is just going to become a Kieran Culkin devoted podcast.
This isn't Kieran. This is the other one.
No, this is Kieran.
No, it's not.
You're right. It's not. I'm sorry, Rory. It's Rory.
It's Rory. Yeah.
You guys, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And I looked directly at his name. There's Macaulay, Kieran, and Rory. I'm sorry, Rory. The probability of you ever listening to this is so
No, he's a big
low.
fan. He tweets me every week. The reason I was so confident is because of the Culkins. Kieran is the one that I'm like very sexually attracted to.
So did you watch Succession?
I haven't yet. I know that I need to, but it's just not no ghosts, just politics and money.
Is it politics? I think it's just money.
No, but I mean like interpersonal politics. I don't mean like Democrat Republican
gross.
politics, right? Like it's like, isn't it like a bunch of kids who are gonna like Succession?
Their
It's
father
about
has
who's
a lot of
going
money.
to take over the company.
The
yeah.
company.
So I don't know. I know everybody loves it. And I love
mean, you should
Kieran.
watch it if you love Kieran. I am sorry, Rory. You are amazing. We probably love you the most without knowing it because of your love for horror, it looks
Not
like.
me. It's Kieran for me.
We don't know.
But
let's watch the other horror stuff. He might rise above.
I mean, I watched Jack Comes Home.
That would be a lie. I love Macaulay. Oh, fuck.
I do love Macaulay. You know what? The Culkins.
This is a Culkin fight.
We love the Culkins.
We love
the Culkins
so much.
Yeah, are we about to reboot Celebrity Deathmatch just for the Culkins?
Adam Brody is also in this.
In what?
California. What?
Which is Adam Brody in?
He's one of the Scream 4. He's one of the police officers.
Oh, I forgot. I totally forgot.
With Anthony Anderson.
I'm not even sure that I remember now.
So I was like, Anthony Anderson, what movie do I describe him in? He was in Kangaroo Jack with Jerry O'Connell. Oh my fucking God.
No.
With Jerry O'Connell.
You remember don't know.
The killer from the second, not the killer, the boyfriend from the second one. Look, you guys, all these movies are tied together because Hollywood is such a small place.
So this one, Emma Roberts is like Sydney's cousin or something.
Yes.
And she starts getting she and her friends, other teens at the high school, start getting ghost-faced calls. And I don't know, spoilers, she and the Culkin are partners. They're basically trying to recreate Scream 1 where they are the murderers. And so they just replay a lot of what happened in Scream 1, I guess.
It was an interesting idea, and
specifically to become internet famous. Like, yes. They wanted to be internet famous.
They try to keep it up to date, and yeah. I appreciate that. But, like, to the point, at the end of the movie, whenever you find out it's Emma Roberts, this was a movie I think I had vaguely seen before because I saw the end coming from a mile away.
Yeah.
So hopefully I had seen it before. But I was upset. Like, whenever she stabbed Kieran, I was like, yeah.
I know.
She's gonna murder you.
I know. I was like...
he murdered Stu. He murdered Stu.
Right. And that's like what happens in the movie. Sydney is like, do you not remember what happened? Do you not remember what happened? They betrayed each other. You know, like, come on, put it together. I hadn't seen this one. I didn't know what was going to happen. I mean, I knew that.
I was hoping I was wrong. Whenever I was watching it, I was like, I feel like I'm getting really bad vibes from her.
I was getting bad vibes from Kieran. No, it's not Kieran. From Rory. God damn it. You did this. Did I
say that? Did I call him Kieran again? I'm sorry.
I was getting bad vibes from the youngest
We have
Culkin.
to re-record this entire episode. We're just
start over.
Just say Culkin. Just say the Culkin. I'm sorry. We love you all.
Welcome
and you're
to
all
Never
our
Show the
favorite
Monster.
people.
I'm Kelly Attaway.
I'm Chelsea Allender. So let's talk about the Culkin brothers.
Let's talk about the Culkins. Yeah. I really don't remember a lot of this movie, if I'm being super honest.
I actually sat down to watch this. For 3, I didn't sit down to watch, but I did watch this one, and I knew a lot of the actors because they were all associated to TV shows I watched. As you guys heard from the first hour and a half of this show, I love TV. I fucking love TV, and yeah, each actor I had associated with a role in TV. I watched Nashville with Hayden Panettiere. I watched Heroes with Hayden Panettiere. I watched Younger with Nico Tortorella, who is the boyfriend of Emma Roberts. I also watched American Horror Story with Emma Roberts. So, like, this was a good one for me to be like, oh, I can associate this with a lot of other things. So that's a good thing about TV shows sometimes, is that you can just constantly associate shit with shit.
I don't even remember Emma Roberts having a boyfriend in this movie.
Yeah, it was Nico, and then they weren't getting along, and then she shot him in the head at the end.
You know what?
I think she was going to frame him.
You know what? I think I've
because she was trying to recreate the story, so she was going to frame him.
Yeah, you're right. She absolutely was. Yes, you're right. Mm-hmm.
So he was going to be the Billy.
Yeah, she was going to be Sydney. She wanted to come out of this as the victim, which is how she was going to achieve victimhood. Oh, and she thought that she had killed somebody. And then she wakes up in the hospital and learns that they are still alive. Sydney. She thought that she had killed Sydney. Yeah, so she stabs Sydney, and then she wakes up in the hospital, learns that she's still alive, but she gave herself away because Dewey comes to say, like, I don't know.
She's still alive.
You're fine in the hospital. And she stabbed herself. Oh, that was the funniest part of the movie. She, like, goes around the house and, like, throws herself into pretty stuff.
Fucked up. I was like, okay, I mean... You could, like, half do that and it'd be fine.
It was so funny. She, like, throws herself onto a table.
On the table.
Yeah. So she's, like, getting her DNA everywhere. And she stabs herself.
Let me just lick every corner just in case. Yeah, I don't want anything to know.
But earlier in the movie, Gail was investigating a big party.
Mm-hmm.
And Emma Roberts, as Ghostface, attacks her, stabs her in the shoulder. And so Gail is also in the hospital. And after Emma is in the hospital, Dewey is, like, talking to her at the end. And Emma says something like, Gail and I have the same wound. And then Dewey goes to see Gail, and Gail is like, how did she know that? And that's when he puts his little...
See, because Dewey's smart.
Oh, and they're, like, married in this one, by the way. They're married in this one. Gail and Dewey. They made it work for a little while. Spoiler. Yeah, so he, like, puts it together and goes to Sydney's hospital room where she's recovering from her hella stomach stabs, and Emma is there trying to murder her. And so we catch the killer.
I don't know what her logic was in that, because I was like, I mean,
what are you gonna?
How are you gonna blame? She gets stabbed to death. How are you gonna blame it on? Like, what? What are you gonna do? How are you gonna blame this on anybody? You're gonna say she fell out of her bed and died?
Yeah, I guess. Like, I don't know. She was blinded by the potential fame. I think that I've decided that I rank 2 higher than 4, just based on I didn't remember 4 at all.
2 higher than 4?
I think so.
Well, you can't even pick Jerry O'Connell out of a lineup, and 4 has a Culkin.
But I 100% forgot that the Culkin was in it until you said it. And even when you first said it,
valid point.
Even when you first said it, I was like, oh, he must have been in one of those, like, Inception scenes at the beginning of the movie. Like,
It's a valid point.
Forgot that he was in it. So I think that I know my order now.
Okay.
Movie 5. I loved Scream 5.
5 was
I loved Scream. The reboot.
5cream.
5, yeah.
I know that that's not what it is, but I feel like they missed an opportunity of calling it 5cream. And they probably didn't do it because people would call it 5cream.
Yeah, no, that's not good. That sounds like one of those internet videos from the 2000s that you didn't want to talk about.
Ew.
I'm sorry. That's what it sounds like.
I'm trying to think of what 5cream would be about, and now I'm like,
that's a bukkake.
No, thank you.
That's bukkake.
I mean, then 5 just seems like a low number.
It's an intimate bukkake.
So I'm looking at user reviews, and top review says just your average Scream flick for Scream 5. No, it's not.
No, this one's
100%
fun.
it's not. This one is set completely apart from, I feel like, the other.
Yeah.
I don't know. And even when we were talking about it, and there was a comment you had made about how, I don't know, the vibes we were getting from different characters, and I felt like this one, like, kind of like, I don't want to be like transcended, but like it felt almost like a completely different movie.
Yeah. Yeah,
outside
absolutely.
of the series.
Like,
and it was great.
They rebooted it, which
They
is like
did so well.
Yeah. Yeah, this one was funny, and like, so the general plot of this one is Ghostface is back, and
What?
yeah, surprise. And he's like going after, so we've got like a new generation of the
Yeah.
original victims. It's all like nieces and
Children.
nephews and children. Yeah.
But it's not just that. The main character is a different girl.
Yeah. Yes.
Is that
Oh,
what you
yeah,
said?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, like it's all the kids now. Like,
yeah, so like, and the main character is Billy Loomis's daughter.
Uh-huh.
So it's not the it's not the victim's daughter, it is the
murderer's
killer's daughter. Yeah, so like it comes from a different aspect of it. So the first kill that doesn't end up succeeding is this young girl, and she ends up surviving it. And then, oh shit, I don't want to like go through plots with these, but I feel like it's kind of important to understand the context of the story and how it's kind of different.
Mm-hmm.
And so her sister comes back because she's super worried about her. And then you find out her sister left because she found out she was Billy Loomis's daughter. And she was like, God damn it, I am the daughter of a murderer. I don't want to be here. So you find out that she moved really far away. So she comes back in town with her boyfriend. And she like tries to reconnect with her sister to be like, I'm so sorry I left. Don't die, please.
Yeah.
I will be here for you forever now. And then she explained to her what happened. There was a little bit of a falling out, but then it's like kind of okay. And then shit starts to get pretty not great. I can't even remember who was killed first. Oh, was it the officers? Oh,
The
no.
officers,
it was one
yeah.
of the...
Oh.
Was it the officers or it was the friend? It was the friend who I 100% thought was the killer in the beginning. This one did very well, like not letting me know who the killer was until the end.
I'm going to be totally honest with you.
Did you know who it was from the beginning? Did you have like genuine feels?
I'm not sure because now I can't remember who it was. Okay, let me tell you who I thought it was.
Okay.
I thought it was
I loved this journey in this movie.
Little Miss Manic Pixie Dream Girl. She was like small and petite and waifish and dark hair and like sort of
the first one
giving
the girl who got
Aubrey
hurt?
Plaza. No, the one that I'm thinking of.
You're right.
Was
you're right.
She can't have died first because it was her.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Let me give you context of who I'm describing. So, probably the best character is Randy's like niece.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
So she's like super fun, loves horror movies. So she's fully playing the Randy part here.
Randy.
She's like, here are the rules of the reboot. They even like do a scene that's exactly like in Scream where he's like drunk and like watching a horror movie and he's like, yeah, exactly. He's like, look behind you. She's doing
and
it.
She's like, you're such a dumbass.
Yeah.
Look behind you.
And like, yeah. And so there's a scene where she and the girl that I thought was the murderer go down into the basement to get more beer. And they have like a weird scene where Randy's niece is like, you can't just go into the basement alone. That was a trick. I was testing you. You need to be smarter than this.
I'm the murderer.
And then they both tell the other, I'm the murderer.
But the other girl was correct.
The other girl was the murderer.
The manic pixie girl was correct.
Yeah. Yeah, she's who I clocked from the beginning.
Yeah. I did not know it until because they made me... I don't know if I had just seen snippets of all the other films to where it wasn't climactic. But this one was like, you killed off the guy who straight up was like, I don't know who's the killer, that was like I don't know. It was the guy from 13 Reasons Why.
It's all coming back to me. It's all coming back to me. So it was her and the boyfriend of Billy Loomis's daughter.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And they met on a forum, on a stab forum.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. Yes.
So I feel like we needed to give like a, if you guys haven't seen this movie, go watch this movie before we talk about it because it's fucking great.
We just done spoiled
really
it. But yeah, this movie was really good. Like,
we did done spoil it. But the entire time I was like, wait, is it him? And I was like, oh no, he was murdered first. That was weird. Oh no, his mom was murdered. That was also weird.
Yeah.
So
the
lemon
cop
cakes
from
an earlier film. It was lemon cake. Lemon cakes?
Lemon squares.
Right? Lemon squares.
Yeah.
That's what they're called. Lemon squares.
Was she just 4 or was she? No, she was in 3.
She was earlier. Yeah.
Yeah, she was in 3. Yeah, the lady cop from the earlier movies is a mom in this one.
Mm-hmm.
I guess she's the sheriff now, huh?
Yep. She is the sheriff because Dewey is no longer sheriff.
Yeah, Dewey is just a super alcoholic.
That is the fucked up part.
I know. Yeah,
about it is you killed one of the mains. That movie finally killed one of the mains.
So while I was watching this movie, I was like, I made a joke. I made a joke out loud to my cat because I just talk out loud.
That's what you do when you watch movies.
Yeah. They were talking about like not just revamping the movie, but like revamping the technology. And so I made a joke. I was like, if they really wanted to revamp the technology, here's what they do. 2 knives. And then they do 2 knives and they kill Dewey.
Yes.
And I was like, that's not what I meant. I didn't want that. No,
not Dewey.
I meant
anyone else can die. Dewey lives forever. Dewey lives forever.
That sucked so much. I was so sad, especially because
but I'm so impressed by that.
Yes, yeah. I think that it was the right move. But I was so sad, especially because like he was so sad in this movie. He's like old and grizzled in this movie, and he and Gail have gotten a divorce, but he still loves her. Like he's alone.
And she still loves him.
She does.
It's fucking sad.
He wanted to stay in Woodsboro, and she wanted to, be a big career woman. And like that's okay. Neither of them is wrong. Sometimes people just don't work out. But it was so sad. It was so sad. And so like the kids, Billy Loomis's daughter, I wish I could remember the character name. She's the star of the movie.
I will give you her name. Give me one moment. Let me just
Sam and her boyfriend, who is one of the murderers.
Richie.
Played
by Jack Quaid, who's also in The Boys.
Jack White?
Quaid. He's the son of Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan.
Oh my God. I'm learning so many things right now. First of all, I didn't know they were together. Second of all, do they continue to be together?
In real life?
The Quaid and Meg Ryan?
I think so. I don't know.
I didn't know that they had a child together. I didn't know that child was an actor.
Together. Yeah.
This is crazy. I'm learning so many things. But they go to Dewey's house to be like...
Meg Ryan's affair ruined her marriage with Dennis Quaid. Nope.
Oh,
that just made me very sad.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. Who's she married to right now? They divorced in 2001. What a bummer.
So that would have been around the time of Scream 3.
Oh, bummer. It's fine, though. Oh, he's in a lot of stuff. Oh, he's in a Star Trek series, Lower Decks. I've never heard of that.
Okay.
Oh, is it a animated series?
So they go to Dewey's house to like, we need your help. The Ghostface is back. We need your help. Surprise, I'm the like undocumented offspring of Billy Loomis. And Dewey like immediately calls it. She's like, this is my boyfriend. And he's like, how long have you known him? Like he immediately is like, don't trust this kid.
Yeah, he thought 100%. But he played it so well.
I
and
know.
The writing and the character was done so fucking
great.
well.
So great. Yeah, absolutely.
I
He
am
was
like frustrated with how lovable he was and how
so
unlikely
lovable.
it felt that he was. Like, he was watching the movies and it felt like he was watching them for the first time to figure out what was going on, because everyone was like, oh, the stab movies. And he was like, I don't know what those are.
Yeah, he was totally playing ignorant. He was watching them every time they like were doing something that in a horror movie you're like, no, don't do that. He was like, no, we absolutely cannot do that. Like the younger sister is injured because she was attacked, and so older sister Sam and boyfriend are like, we gotta get out of town. Like, that's the mistake that Sydney made. She stayed here. She should have split. So they're like packing up to go, but younger sister is like, oh, you know what? I did think it was younger sister for a little bit.
I did too.
Yeah.
100%. I did too. They did such a good job with misdirection in this movie that, like, I kept second guessing myself every time.
Mm-hmm.
And I love a movie that does that. I love a movie that doesn't make me, because oftentimes when you've watched a lot of movies, you kind of know from the beginning exactly who it is.
You like know the beats. You can predict it.
Yeah, and I feel like the strange combination of movies that we've chosen to watch doesn't necessarily, like, I don't know if we've ever called it out, but like, after you've watched, Kelly and I have both watched so many fucking movies that no matter what happens, we know the formula pretty damn well.
Yeah.
Like, it is not like a movie to surprise us, especially a movie in a series.
Right, like fifth,
where it's like pretty
in the series.
Yeah, it's pretty clear that you're gonna figure out who it is at some point, and you're like, well, I can kind of figure out who it is. I know you're leading me towards this one, but it's definitely this one. But this is one, up until the end, I did not know who it was, and then when I found out who it was, I was like, God fucking damn it, good job.
Yeah, I never saw the boyfriend coming. I did. Yeah, I
Manic Pixie Dream Girl.
I did see her. I do remember the misdirection, though, and not being totally confident. But I remember very early on in the movie being like, it's her.
Yeah.
But this scene where that I was trying to describe, when they're like, we're gonna leave town. We're leaving town. But younger sister has asthma and she needs her inhaler. And so they're gonna swing by this house to pick up the inhaler, and it's the house where Scream happened. Like, a party is going on there. They're at Randy's house.
Yes.
And so she goes in to get her inhaler and then disappears, and murders start happening. And I was like, oh shit. Oh shit.
One of the parts that I really loved in the movie, though, was whenever she found out what house it was, she immediately tried calling her and being like, that's the house that happened at. Get the fuck out. Get out. And then when I say she, I mean Sydney. Obviously, I mean Sydney. When I say she, I always mean Sydney. Unless I specify Sam in this specific movie, because she is the protagonist. Sydney plays a supporting character for the most part, but Sam is the protagonist, which I think is what's going to come up in the next film in 2023, Scream 6.
Yeah, because Sydney's not coming back. Neve Campbell's not coming back.
We talked about this. I don't know if we talked about this off pod, but that Neve wasn't getting enough pay.
Yeah.
Fucking Neve Campbell is amazing. And she's done amazing in these movies, and she deserves, like, New York? Scream 6 is in New York?
There's going to be a murder in a taxi. Hey, I'm stabbing here. I really liked this movie.
It was a good movie. And whenever you said you liked it, I already had high expectations. So they were just set to be ruined. Yeah. I can't go into a movie with high expectations. I'm going to be honest with you. If you put me in a low expectation mood for a movie, it will become one of my favorites. Mortal Kombat, the new movie, fucking loved it.
I almost didn't text you how much I loved this movie. And I
told you how much I loved the movie that you said you liked. And I was like, I am so worried she's not going to like it at all because I have hyped it up so much. So when you texted me that you liked the other movie, I was like, oh, fuck it.
Yeah, I loved it. I like almost watched it again the next night. Oh my God, is it a comfort movie now?
It might be. It's so good.
But I like almost didn't text you about this movie, about Scream 5cream, because I didn't want to
5cream.
set you up for that downfall, but I also
But I
wanted to make
wouldn't
sure
have
that you
watched it
watched
if you
it.
didn't.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I was like,
I
I
wouldn't have
know
watched it
that
if you
3 was
didn't.
not good, but you gotta
4
make
was
it
also
through.
not good.
You gotta make it through. It's worth it. You
I
just
did.
gotta
It
make
was
it through.
totally worth it, and I loved the shit out of it. And when I was watching it, I was like, "Oh my god, this movie's so good."
Yeah, it's really good. It feels different. It feels different from the get-go.
It's
And
so good.
I think that they made a good choice. I don't know. It could go either way when you're like, let's reboot it. Like, it's not really a reboot. What do they call it?
I can't remember.
Randy's niece has like a word for it.
But it was not a good.
A requel? A requel?
A
Maybe?
requel. That's it.
Yeah.
A requel.
Yeah. And that's dumb. And the movie knows that that's dumb. And so they lean into it and make it a big thing. And I don't know, just great. Just great. Like, this felt more true to the original Scream spirit than, at least, than 3 and 4 did. You could argue that it's more true than 2 was. But it's like, it's funny. It leans into being funny and not in a cheesy way. Just in like a self-aware way.
Because I feel like Scream itself was surprising.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny. I don't know. It's funny that it's surprising when it still was the boyfriend.
Yeah. We didn't talk about Skeet. Skeet's in it. Skeet's in it. Our love for Skeet. Skeet has come back. Our love for Skeet. Oh God, dear God. 5cream. 5cream comes back.
Comes back.
5cream. Skeet's return.
Oh, I hate to do this, but we just found the title of this episode.
In the worst way.
Oh, yeah, he's back, and they only do a little bit of de-aging CGI.
But he does come back, and I was like, oh. But it sucks because I was like, I don't hate him right now because he's being real, and this is what needs to happen. In the end, Sam fucking murders the shit out of her boyfriend because he is the murderer.
The shit out of him.
But she spends the entire movie being afraid that she's a murderer. Like, being afraid that she is the one that has it in her to do such atrocious things. But it turns out that the person that she loved so much that she could have never expected to be that person was that person. So, yeah, she murders... overkill is what they call it, I guess.
Yeah, it's for sure overkill. Yeah.
But I with that emotion in that, somebody you have basically... Did she live with him? Like, she had been with him for years, it seemed like, for a while.
Definitely, he super betrayed her. He was super fetishizing her and...
Dating a fucking high school student?
Ew, I didn't even think about that. Gross.
Yeah, no, super gross. But he was so lovable before that, and I'm so upset. It was so hard. It was such a hard transition for the character, which was very much like his character in The Boys. I'm sorry, no spoiler, but you guys should watch The Boys.
Great movie. But yeah, so that was Sam is taking antipsychotics in the movie.
Yeah.
And so she's like worried that she's somehow gonna be evil like Billy, which is part of why she left town in the beginning. Like, she learned that she was Billy Loomis' spawn. Oh my God. And there's something that we haven't talked about.
About Spawn Loomis. Or about... Oh.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. I meant Offspring. No, Loomis. Dr. Loomis is a character in Halloween. Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's something that we never talked about. But
that was like a wink wink that Wes Craven made, I think.
Yeah. After the episode came out, I was like, God damn it, I forgot to bring that up. So yeah, Loomis is like...
So this is actually a correction episode because we have corrected so many things.
Yeah.
But wait until our next one where we correct literally everything from this one.
I don't know. So when early in the movie it's revealed that she's on antipsychotics, I was like, here we go. Another horror movie where mental illness is the bad guy. Like, I was primed to dislike this movie. Like, I was on antipsychotics for years. I probably should still be on them. Not that I'm psychotic. Like, they treat other things.
Yeah.
I don't have hallucinations of Skeet Ulrich, though I would not say
I
no
was
to
like,
them.
why would you be upset with
That seems fine. Especially because he's like cool and encouraging in her hallucinations.
I don't know if that's good.
Well, because it's not him, you know, it's her. It's her
Interpretation.
subconscious. And
Yeah,
so,
yeah,
like, I think
yeah.
that speaks to her as a character.
That's
like, she's a
true.
good person.
And she only murders bad people. She's the Dexter of the Scream.
We gotta wrap it up. We gotta wrap it up. We
This
gotta
is
wrap it up.
well. Not going well.
That's it. We love the Scream franchise. I
We
think that
do
I
so
know
much.
my ranking now. Number 1 is Scream original.
I am going back and forth because 5cream.
Number 2, 5cream.
I feel like number 1 and number 2 are on par with each other. I guess you have a source material that's really good. Could they have done so well without the great number 1?
Yeah, that's a great point.
So, not to segue into our series, in our next series, Ready or Not is going to be the first movie we do, and that is from the directors of 5cream.
5cream?
Ready or Not was one of the best movies I watched in the last couple of years. And
I remember when it came out and you know what? Yeah, we'll save it.
We'll save it.
But I remember being like, boo, looks bad. No, thank you. I'm so glad you made me watch it because I loved it.
Thank you. I'm so glad.
Okay. Are we done? Did we do it?
I think we might be.
I just do want to say my final.
5cream.
Yeah.
Scream, 5cream.
5cream.
2, 4,
3.
3.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry for 3rd. You tried. You gave a valiant effort. We love participation trophies.
It's still worth it. Like, watch it.
participated.
It's just the weakest of the series. We will see you next week. We will talk about Samara Weaving. We will talk about old guns.
So our next series is about like celebrations gone wrong.
Yeah. Write in if you have celebrations gone wrong movies. We've got a list, but we would love to hear your opinions. And remember to rate and review us on the old iTunes. Really helps the show. We will see you next week. This has been Never Show the Monster. Find us online. We will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Happy spooky.
Happy spooky.